Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. This has been a tough start, and I know that if you're on live, you probably got a taste of what was going on. If you're on a replay, you didn't. Anyway, this is Start Your Empire Part 2, Rank into Dollars, is what tonight's presentation is all about. First, I want to give a shout out to Shauna Monroe for assisting me with putting this presentation together. She did a marvelous job, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So basically, the main thing I want to do here is recap. See, I don't have the controls that I had before. Is I want to recap from last week. And last week, I spoke to you about rock your business like a Bling Boss. And basically, what I did in that presentation is I showed you how to build your business, generate 400 PV per month with no additional money out of your pocket. For those that are already in Paparazzi, I showed you how to take the jewelry that you already have and continue there, and then generate the 400 PV per month by selling 3 to 4 pieces of jewelry per day, at least 25 per month. And we talked about building your team. I showed you how recruiting 3 or sponsoring 3 people, or recruiting 3 people, active, as long as they're active, gets you promoted to director. And we talked about you sharing that opportunity or those tools that I gave you last week to help them generate 400 PV as well. I don't really want to go back through that. What I would do is really encourage you to go back and look at part 1. And what I want to do is kind of pick up where I left off. Okay, so now that's where we're going to start today. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit more about those PV values turning into dollars for you. Now, here, what you see is, again, I want you to think about when you look at this and you see you, that's you, regardless of where you are in the organization. This is you, and I only want you to look down because you're looking down at your team. You're not looking up. Again, you're not looking up at your sponsors. You're not looking up at what other people are doing. We're focusing on us and looking down in our team that we're trying to build. And what we're trying to do is everybody that we introduce the business to, we're going to share this opportunity. We're going to show them how to capitalize and utilize that $99, the initial $99 investment, to generate 400 PV per month. That's 200 pieces a month, generating 50 pieces per week is what we shared in part 1. So I'm just going to continue on with that. Once you do that, establish your 6. Going to start it with 6, and I told you that you can have as many as you want on your front line. There's no limit, but I just arbitrarily chose 6 because I just got to start somewhere, and that's where I started. So the 6 people that we recruited personally, that you recruited personally, you're going to teach them these same techniques, and they're going to share and teach 6 people in their organization as well. So we're building the team. Your front line is your 6, your personally sponsored 6. You're going to have a second line where the first 6 brought in 6 people of their own, which will give you 36 people on that second line. And they will become directors as well. Okay? So now what I want to do, let's do a quick summary of where we are before we start talking about dollars. Again, your personally sponsored people, 6 people generating 400 PV each. That's 2,400 PV. Make sure director. All right, your second line, your downline, your second downline, which would be your personally sponsored people, front line, which will be your second line, your downline. Once you generate, once 36 people times 400 PV, they're generating 14,400 OV, organizational volume, you'll be a producer. Okay, to understand what that stuff means, if you're just coming in for part 2, you got to go back to part 1 to see how I describe generating those values and where those numbers come from, because I'm not really going through that right now. Down line 3 would be 216 people at 400 PV, gets you 86,400 OV, and that's where we had the moment of Fashionista baby last time. So that's where we are now. Moving forward, what I want to do is show you. I don't know if you guys see the dollar sign or if you see my bar at the bottom. Do you see my bar at the bottom?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, my arrow.
No, the bar goes away whenever you move you need to keep your cursor up.
Well, yeah, here's the thing though. I was using my arrows to scroll through before, but now for some reason it's not working.
Okay.
So the bar wouldn't show up.
Okay.
Yeah, my arrows are.
Well, I don't see a bar.
It could be me, operator error.
Yeah.
All right, so let's continue. All right. Mm-hmm. Let's assume your next recruit will come from your personal recruits. Again, we're talking about the second line, right? You've gone out, you've done your hard work, you got your 6 people at 400 PV, 2,400. Now all you need 2 more people. And when we're going to set this up, we're going to say they're going to come from your second line. So it doesn't matter which person on your second line it comes from. It doesn't matter. But each of them, once you teach them the technique, they're going to generate 400 PV, right? So that all you need is another 600 PV, but 2 people at 400 PV gets you 800 PV. That's where the 800 comes from. So you end up with 3,200 PV or 3,200 OV organizational volume and as a premier director. All right. Now, after your second line recruits 7 people at 400 PV, you're promoted to executive director. And again, you see here, I got 3,200 PV, 7 people times 400 PV. Now, what I'm doing now, I need you to, if I lost you, what I'm doing now, I told you that the second line is going to generate 36 people. All I'm doing now is, instead of giving you or showing you 36 people at one point, I'm showing you in that 36, because you're not going to recruit them all at the same time. You're going to pick up people here and there. So I'm just showing you what can happen when you pick up 2 people. This is what happened to you in terms of promotion. And then when you pick up another 7 people, that PV generates more OV, and that gets you another promotion. So I'm kind of showing it to you in stages. But what I'm really showing you is the 36 people on that second line that we talked about earlier. That's all I'm doing here. Okay? So, yes.
Okay, so I thought I was all right. Someone earlier had messaged me and said that the PV and the OV was confusing them. So I just want to interject now, just real quick. PV stands for your personal volume.
Okay, hold on. Let me go with that. Okay. PV, as you said, is your personal volume. That's what you do yourself. When you go out and you sell and you buy jewelry, you'll generate a personal volume. That's your PV. Now, what happens is when you look down at your team, when you take everybody's personal volume, everybody in your organization, you take their personal volume and you add it together, it gives you your organizational volume. I don't know who that is. Everybody, please mute your.
That's Tori.
Yeah,
Tori, mute your phone again.
I just muted her. All right. So again, everything that you buy, everything that you generate yourself is your personal volume. Counts as personal volume. Okay. Then when you add up everybody's personal volume on your team, when you add those together, it gives you your organizational volume. That's what that is. So at some point in time, when we're talking, your PV and OV could be the same thing. So when I say you generated 400 PV, and then you look down, you got 6 people on each line. Each one of them generated 400 PV, individually 400 PV. But when you add them all together, it adds up to a total of 2,400 PV, but it's considered organizational volume for you. Is that right, Jake?
Okay. Yes, and what we do as our PV does not count towards the organizational volume.
Right.
So for instance, this month, I think I had like 1,800 in my personal volume, but none of that counts towards, that's why he's always telling you to look down towards your team. Has nothing to do with you or your upline. So everything that's being done organizational wise is everybody that you brought on and the people they brought on. That's your organizational volume. Your PV only goes for your own personal accomplishment, life of the party.
Okay, baby. That's good. That's good. They got the point. And I give you a call. I got to keep going. I'm running out of time. All right. So at this point, here, I talked about personally sponsoring 7 people. I'm still talking about the 7 line, the second line. In that second line, we got 36 people. So here, I'm only picking up 7. Okay. Then after your next 15 people, that's on that second line, after your next 15 people, and they're generating 400 PV each, you're promoted to producer. All right? So far, what I've shown you is I got 6 plus 2 plus 7 plus 15 equals 30 people. What I'm saying is the 6 people are the 6 that you personally sponsored, right? And then I told you that once you get 2 more people, you get a promotion. That's what that 2 is. And then I said, if you get your next 7 people, you get another promotion. That's what that is. And then I just showed you over here, after your next 15 people, you get another promotion. Well, that's a total of 30 people. But we're going to have 36 on that line. So 6 is recruiting 6 is the way we have it set up. So far, that's 30 people generating 400 PV per month. Comes out to be 12,000 PV or 12,000 organizational volume, right, for the team for producer promotion. Now remember on your second line, you're going to reach 36 people. So there's still 6 more people we're talking about at 400 PV, and that's going to generate an extra 2,400 PV for you. So that 2,400 gets added to your 12,000 PV over here, which brings us to 14,400 PV, right, from your downline too. Now, when you go back and look at,
everyone, please mute. Coco, Rodney, Rosie, please mute.
Go back and look at part 1. You'll see what I showed you at this point is where your 14,400 PV came from. I'm just showing it to you in stages here, all right? So now, at this point, as a producer, you're entitled to receive a unit level bonus 1, a unit level bonus 2 and 3, plus a generation 1 income at 3% as well. All right. Now, if you continue the math that I've laid out for you, I've done it for a couple of them. It will take another 21 people at 400 PV each on your third line before you're promoted to premier producer. And then another 38 people at 400 PV before you reach executive producer, generating 40,000 OV. Now, again, keep in mind when I keep showing you this 21 people, 38 people, this is part of that 216 people that I'm talking about on line 3. Before, I just gave you a total number. Now I'm breaking it down as to how many of those people and at different stages it will take for you to reach the next level or the next promotion, right? Now, based on the Paparazzi rank chart, an executive producer needs 100 PV, 40,000 OV, and 3 personally sponsored active members. Now, checkmate. You got all of that, right? Now, I just showed you how to maintain 400 PV per month at no cost to you. Again, part 1, I showed you where you're generating that 400 PV from selling 3 to 4 pieces of jewelry a day. a minimum of 25 pieces in a week. And you're going to take that and turn it over and buy more jewelry for the following week. And at the same time, you're building your inventory because you're only selling 25, but I went through and showed you how you're actually buying and you actually are accumulating more. Okay, so you're meeting your 100 PV requirement because you're generating 400 PV. And I just showed you how you're generating from this, using this technique, you're generating 40,000 OV. And at this point, you met that qualification. And you also need 3 personally sponsored members to be active. Well, you got 6 because all 6 of them are generating 400 PV each. They only need 50 or 100. So they're meeting that with ease. Okay. No effort. They're all active. All right. Now, show me the money. Here we go. Now let's translate this into dollars. As an executive producer, you get unit level 1 at 10%. Now unit level 1, that would be 10% on everybody on your front line, everybody that you personally sponsor. Remember, you got 6 people that you personally sponsor, generating 400 PV. 2,400 PV times 10%, 0.1, gives you a check of $240. You just made $240. All you're doing is selling 3 to 4 pieces a day, less than 25 a week. You're turning that over, buying more jewelry, and this is income that you're generating from just that first line. The second line, you get a unit level 2 bonus at 5%, and that's from your second line. Your second line, that's where your 36 people come in. And I showed you got the 6 people. They got 6 people each. That's 36 people on your second line. And they're all generating 400 PV each using the same technique that you taught them, 3 to 4 pieces a day. That's in 25 a week. That's over 14,400 PV at 5%. So that generates a check for $720. 14,400 times 0.05 gets you $720. Also at this level, you get a unit level 3 bonus at 5%. That means you're going to get now 5% on your third level. So you just got paid 10% on your first level, 5% on your second level, and 5% on your third level. Your third level is a level where you got 216 people. Again, your personally sponsored 6, got 6, and each of them got 6, and that's where your third line comes in at 216 people. If you're lost, go back and look at the previous videos where I showed you 216 people. But now I'm showing you how you get paid on those. That's 86,400 PV at 5%. 86,400 times 0.05 gets you $4,320. That's real money. That comes from Paparazzi. Now, as an executive producer, you're also entitled to a Generation 1 bonus at 3%. A Generation 1 bonus is a bonus that's applied to your first line, your personally recruited personal recruits. That's 6 people at 400 PV times 3%. That's times 0.03 gives you $72. You also get a Generation 2 at 3%. That means you get another bonus of 3% on your second line. That's where you got your 36 people. I hope you really see what's going on here. You done got paid unit level. Now you're getting paid generation level on these same people, okay, at different percentages. That's what's happening. And it has to do with the volume. Now, I showed you how to generate this volume at no more money, at very little money out of your pocket. But guess what? You can go above and beyond what I showed you and generate more PV, and you'll make more money. I'm trying to show you the bare minimum. You don't have to start with these numbers. There is no limit to this thing, okay? So let's keep going here. Generation 2, 36 people times 400. That gives you another $432. When you add all of that up for a grand total, this $240 came from your unit level 1 bonus. This $720 came from your unit level 2 bonus. This $4,000 came from your unit level 3 bonus. 72 came from your first generation, your generation one bonus, and this came from your second generation bonus. Now, this is that executive producer. This is that executive producer. Now, if you keep in mind, what I want you to keep in mind is by the time you finish with this third line, you're going to reach Fashionista. And once you reach Fashionista, that's going to entitle you to a generation 3 bonus at 3% on your third line. Okay, what am I talking about? I'm talking about another 3% on those 216 people on your third line. It's real, people. This is crazy. It's real though, right? So there's 216 people times 400 PV. That's 86,400 PV that you're gonna get 3% for. That's another $2,592. When you add that to what I just showed you a few minutes ago, right? You end up with $8,376 per month, over $1,000 a year with minimal effort. Now, I need you to keep this in mind. I need you to keep something in mind. What I've just showed, what I've shown you is what I consider to be bare minimum. And I've shown you how to do this by selling 3 to 4 pieces of jewelry per day, less than 25, or at least 25 per week. And we talked about consistency. You got to be consistent. You know, there are several people, my wife have reached out after last week, and they've been selling, got their 4, they've been selling more than 4. They've been doing a phenomenal job. So they're on their way, okay? But the thing is, we got to look down, because we can't just do this for ourselves. We got to share this with the people that we talk to, the people that join our organization. You got to teach them these techniques and show them how to get their money back, pull their money back, right? Their initial investment, pull it out, and work with what they got. Now, they don't have to pull it out. They can keep going forward. But if some people are struggling with money, it'll make them feel better if they pull their $99 out after they sold their few pieces of jewelry. And now what they're working with from that point forward would be all profit. So everything here is profit. You have the only thing you have committed to this will be your time and your effort. When you pull your resources out, and now your time and your effort is going to generate this personal volume, which will transition into organizational volume, which transcends into dollars. I'm a little tongue-tied tonight. I apologize. I got a little revved up before we got started, so I'm still on this emotional high right now, but trying to calm down. But this thing still translates into dollars, right? And it takes minimal effort. Minimal effort. Now, again, these illustrations are just examples. They can be achieved through paparazzi if everyone uses this technique. Now, the results will vary, but I believe that when I tried to show you this thing in stages, because when I was showing you this in stages, what would happen would be during the course of these different promotional periods, you'll get checks, right? And I showed you a check, showed you where you get a check for $5,000, but, we went from 0 to 5,000. But guess what? There are checks in between there. And I'm believing that somewhere along the line, as this thing progresses and you're getting these checks, a couple of $100, $1,000, $2,000, you start seeing the realization of this and probably work harder and do more. So guess what that's going to do for your results? Take them through the roof. Okay, so again, I'm just showing you bare minimum, but I believe that when you see the evidence and when you see the fruit of what this business will generate, you will believe and you will know that it is possible. Okay, now one thing I want to do, you can do it too. One thing I want to do again is Shauna put this together. She gave an extra bonus, and what she did was she extracted this bottom portion from the rate sheet that you can find back in your back office on the resources. And because I talked about some of these bonuses, but people, there are some other stuff here that I didn't even cover. Okay, I didn't even talk about rebates if you purchase over $1,000, you get 10% back. That doesn't even count as income for you, right? I didn't talk about your BBB, which is a business building bonus, which you'll get 15% on the initial package of someone you recruit or someone you sponsor. So for a $99 package, you get $15. You know, it's not a lot, but hey, that gets added to all the other money that I was just talking about. I talked to you about the unit level bonuses and the generational bonuses. I didn't say anything about the legacy bonuses and the infinity bonuses, because the legacy bonus, let me look on here. The legacy bonus begins when you're an A-lister. It begins at the A-lister. And you'll get once you become an A-lister, you get 1% on legacy 1 level, on your first level. And then the infinity bonus kicks in when you become the Lux Jet Setter. That's when that kicks in. And then we got some other cash bonuses at the bottom, 25,000 and 50,000. Those kick in when you reach certain levels as well. So
okay, let me interject. So Alyssa that just was promoted to Lux Jet Setter, she'll get 25,000. Erica, who just got the Lux last month and the Impressionista this month, that's 75,000 that she's gonna get on top of that 101,000 that she made for the month.
Awesome. Now you can too. All right. Hug your fears, what I want you to do. And see just how simple Paparazzi is, and make your dreams come true. Rank into the dollars. Do I have any questions?
I do. With the cash bonus at the bottom, is it do they only have to hit it once, so they got to hit it 3 months in a row in order to get that cash bonus?
It's 2 consecutive months. That's why they were pushing so hard. Alyssa hit Lux Jet Setter last month, but she had to hit it this month. If there was a lapse, then it had to start over again. So only until you get up to the Lux Jet Setter. All other ranks, when you hit them the first month, you get paid off of that first month until you hit those that you have to hit them 2 consecutive months.
Awesome. Thank you.
So then my question to everybody is, how difficult do you think this is, and where would you start? So for me, I would think that concentrating on yourself and making sure that you do your 3 to 4 pieces a day or 25 a week, where you're taking that money, because I made that comment today when I said, okay, guys, take your money that you earned since we did the video last week and get your new releases for today, where you're taking that and reinvesting it back over into the business. But I think your first plight is you doing your 400 a month. Start there. So you can kind of, and if you're doing more than that, then great. Like I said, I'm transparent. I show you what it is that that I did. I'll post mine at any time, because what I don't like is for anybody to feel that someone is pushing them and they're not doing it themselves. Keep in mind, I get to see everybody's numbers. Yeah. And so
let me say this, baby. You're absolutely right. And all I can say is, if the team, if you look down and your team bought jewelry the way my wife buys jewelry, you blow all this out the water. You will blow it all out the water. And it's real, you know. But we're not saying that everyone has to do it the way she does it. She just has certain other personal goals that she's trying to attain. Okay, you may not have those goals, but she does.
Well, no, the way that you did it is for everybody to be able to hit bronze. And I think that's great, because that opens you up to next year for a whole nother selection of jewelry. So these goals that you do reach set you apart from everybody else. Because I have people that's going to meet me at the mall tomorrow on some pieces that I'm bringing that they're not able to get, because life of the party and different things that I am a part of. Well, it's just setting yourself apart from the other people as well. But just to start with everybody doing their 400 and selling their 3 to 4 pieces, 25 a week, and reinvest. If everybody did that part and your excitement and everything that you're showing, people are going to come to your team. And I just want to shout out to Coco. She just got a new recruit right before we came on.
Congratulations.
So, yes, congratulations.
Woo, woo.
Thank you.
So is there anybody else with a question?
I have a question.
Yes.
So the PV is how much I'm selling or buying or both?
Okay, so go ahead, honey.
Well, all right. So what Paparazzi has done is they've assigned this personal volume a number to represent the number of pieces of jewelry that you buy. So for every piece of jewelry you buy, it counts as a single 2 PV. That's all it is. All right. Instead of saying dollars or number of jewelry, it's PV. One jewelry, one piece of jewelry counts as 2 PV. All right. Your personal.
And a Z collection counts as 10.
Right. And then everybody in your organization, when you add their personal PV, when you add all of those numbers together, it's considered to be your organizational volume, your OV.
So my goal each month is 400 PV or more.
Or more.
Okay.
Right. Using the techniques that I showed you in volume or in part 1. Did you look at part 1 video? Awesome. Well, then, if you work it, then you don't have to spend any more of your money. That was the whole idea and concept, is I don't want people to feel like and get discouraged because they got to keep spending money, or they feel like they got to keep spending money. So I tried to show them a way to do this without bringing any more money out of your household, right? You can still make this thing work as a bare minimum. Now, if you got the money and you want to do it, go ahead and do it by all means.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Awesome. Well,
okay, so let me count the people. So that's 400, 400, 400. Because don't nobody have no no one has any questions. I think that's great. Thank you, honey, once again. It was a rough start, but it has more to do with clearing our cash. So we're not signed in under 50 million people.
Yeah, we'll have this squared away by next week. Because I got it. Oh yeah, stay tuned. You guys stay tuned for next week too. I already finished part 3 is tax benefits. So I'm gonna dive into some stuff that you guys need to know. It's more than just selling jewelry. So I'm gonna talk about the tax benefits and what you need to do and how you can benefit from that thing. So Sean, I'm gonna be sending you another PowerPoint your way here soon. And I'm gonna go ahead and sign off.
Okie dokie.
And
okay, I guess you have to stop recording.
Yes, I am.
And then thanks everybody. Thanks for the hiccups. Thank you, honey. And see you guys soon.